I'm going to do a really quick video on thinning tomato seedlings because it's time to thin my tomato seedlings. So these are various kinds of tomato seedlings. I've got them all labeled. There's one row of soil blocks for each type that I did, which means I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different kinds of tomatoes. I don't know what I was thinking. But it's time to thin these. I sowed these on March 25th, so we're at about 2 weeks on these. They came up right away, probably within 5 days. Everything was germinated, so they've been growing under the lights recently, and you can see that many of them have their first true leaves. Those are the kind of serrated leaves that look like mini tomato leaves. These other leaves, these kind of straight ones, those are their seedling leaves. Those are the first leaves that they push up, and these are their real leaves here. So I planted these. My goal was to plant 2 seedlings per hole, and you can see that on some of these I did a little bit more than that. But the goal is, since everything came up, which is great, I did 2 seedlings per hole in case one seed doesn't work. So everything came up, so that's fabulous. So now I have to get these all down to 1 seedling per hole so that there's no root competition. So there's two ways to thin seedlings. One is to actually, hi Shoshi, one of these is to actually pull out one of the seedlings. But because these are a little tall, I'm actually going to cut them, because one of the risks of pulling them out, if you can see this, is that you can disturb the roots of the other one. So at this point, I think it's safer to, there's a ladybug walking by. I think it's safer to just cut them. So that's what we're gonna do. So basically what you do is, I got the camera kind of zoomed in here because I wanted you guys to see. So here's one right here with 4 seedlings that came out, and you want to look for the strongest of those seedlings. So that might be the bushiest. Hi Andrea. Yeah, they are very cute, aren't they? So you want to look for either the bushiest or the strongest, or the one that looks the healthiest to you. It's a judgment call. So you just have to kind of pick which one you want to keep, and you're going to get rid of those. So I'm going to keep, out of these 4, trying not to get my hand in the middle of the camera here, I'm going to keep this one because I like the way that one looks. It's got nice true leaves on it. These other ones are a little smaller, and they're also in a clump of 3, so I can get rid of them all at once. So I have, this is just a little, this is just a really small little pruners that, there we go, wasn't currently working. Just something with a little needle nose. And I'm just gonna go in here, and if you can see, I'm gonna cut as close to the base as I can on these 3 and get rid of those. And that's it. And you can see there's little stumps sort of left there. Don't worry about that. Those will die, and those will be gone. And so you're left with 1 good seedling coming out of each one. So then you have to kind of go through here. Here's a little twofer, like most of these are, and I'm just gonna get rid of, nip out that one. And if you can go lower, as low as you can go is better, so that you don't have those little what I call stumps there. If you can see these 2 right here, let me move the camera a little bit so you can see these a little better. Sorry. If you can see these 2, I don't know. I think one's as good as the other. So I'd say pick whichever one you like better. If there's one that speaks to you, keep that one, get rid of the other one. So you just want to go through and nip out all these, all the extras, so that you're left with just 1 tomato per cell. And I'm just going to show you quickly on here kind of a better view of what these tomatoes look like. Down here you can see this row. This is Brandywine. Two things are happening here. One, these soil blocks on the end are starting to get a little dry. So when I water this, I'm going to pour water actually in the tray down at this end. It'll soak it up from the bottom. But sometimes when I pour water on the other end, it doesn't actually get all the way down here. So that's number one. I'm going to give them some water. Two, they're stretching for the light. You can see that whatever light I have them under is clearly where all these tomatoes are standing up nice and straight. The light is not happening over here because they're stretching for the light. So when I put this back in, I'm going to kind of, sometimes it happens. You only have so much light, right? So you're going to have to just adjust your lights appropriately and rotate it around so that everything kind of gets going in the right direction. So I will thin these out. Some of these look a little funky. Here is, oh boy, do you see my little light that I have on here is, I think, running out of batteries. Do you see these little, how the seed cap is stuck on top of there? So that happens sometimes if the seed dries out before it fully opens up. You can kind of sort of nudge those off sometimes, but if I'm able to thin out the one that has that little seed cap stuck on there, that's just the easier way to handle that problem. So anyway, so that's tomato seed thinning. Remember to keep them under lights really close. I'm probably have the lights maybe 2 inches over the tops of these seedlings. You don't want them touching the seedlings because they will burn. But I have these probably just 2 inches or so over the tops. So that's going to give you nice bushy plants, give them nice healthy growth so that they're not stretching and straining all over the place, which tomatoes tend to do anyways. By the way, I just want to let you know, even right now, as these little bitty plants, they smell like tomatoes, and it smells fabulous. So that's that. So if you're growing tomatoes and they're looking like this, thin your seedlings, get them down to 1 per pot or cell or however you're growing them. Or if you've started them in a tray, not in individual cells or soil blocks like I grow mine, you're definitely going to want to coax those out of there and replant them into their own pots at this point. And if you're going to do that, make sure anytime you're handling a seedling, always handle it by this seed leaf. That seed leaf serves no purpose now that it's growing. It's going to fall off eventually. So you can break that. Don't ever touch the stem if you're trying to transplant this, because you'll crush that stem. And they only get 1 stem. They have lots of leaves. They only get 1 stem. So that's the only tip there. Keep your seedlings under lights. Keep them growing strong. Keep them nice and watered. And enjoy those tomatoes in about 4.5, 5 months. Have a good night.